Well, hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Cormac on Cars, and this is the latest car I've bought. For those of you who don't know what this is what they call a poor man's Bentley, and there's a very good reason why I bought this. It's a Chrysler 300C with the 3 litre V6 turbo Mercedes engine, producing around 218 brake horsepower. Now, even though I've owned a Bentley, this car came to me out of the blue from a random message on Facebook one day, and this is the only reason why I bought it. It was owned by legendary snooker player Willie Thorne. So when Willie Thorne, in 2010, it was bought for him by his then agent company, Champions PLC, based in Loughborough. And then it went to its 4th owner before it came to me, and they messaged me on Facebook saying, oh, we might think you'll be able to do something with this car. And it's not been a car that's usually on my radar. 1, because I've had a Bentley, and 2, this is what they call a poor man's Bentley. Now, the fact is, this is a massive car. Picture Buckingham Palace, add another 10 feet and then keep going. That's how big it is, but it's still not as big as an American. Now, I think they look a really, really nice car, especially from the front here as well, and particularly in this colour. You know, they are really nice cars. So this is a 2010 car, so it's a fairly later car, but this is the SRT line, so it's got the better interior as well, and it's been well looked after, considering it's done just shy of 200,000 miles, 192,474 to be precise. So it came to me because they thought I could do something special, because this was formerly owned by Willie Thorne, and now it's Cormac Boylan's. So let's get in and go for a drive. Wheel of the Chrysler 300C. Now, this is a car, like I was saying, that wasn't on my radar, but because of the whole story behind it, this is why I bought it. And this is the, well, a middle of the range model. It's the SRT design. So for those of you who don't know what that means, it gives you the bigger 20-inch alloy wheels, with a few different trim pieces like arch spats and these different interior pieces as well, like better quality plastics and all that. Now, even though this has got the Mercedes engine with 218 horsepower and around 376 pounds-feet of torque and a 5-speed gearbox, it just feels like, because it's such a heavy car, it just feels like you've really got to nail your foot to get it going. You know, I mean, 0 to 60 takes an eternity with it, and the steering is, even though it's very heavy, I mean, the car just like is very cumbersome. It just rolls, and you know, it rolls, and you know, you can feel it rolling over like that, and it's got a lot of understeer as well. But coming back to the interior of this car, you'd think for what Chrysler did with it, and it meant to be quite a, you know, luxurious car, it just feels very, what's the word I'm looking for? Is it like flimsy and plasticky, which you wouldn't expect, you know, like all this wood. And it's very, I get the word like very austere in here. It just feels very, very dark, you know. And these seats, you know, they're comfy when you get in them, but after a while they're like these body hugging seats, and you know, these bolsters, they get uncomfy after you've sat in them for a while. But you know, I'm quite tall, a man at 6'2". You've got, I mean, there are some good things about it. I've got umpteen amounts of headspace, you know, and I like the simplicity of the dashboard as well. You know, this is like just like driving a big old barge. But this is where the car gets let down even more. This clock just looks, you know, like they're trying to copy Bentley. They could have done something more imaginative here. And the sound system, well, that just comes across a bit flat and dull. You know, but it's not what you really expect from a car like this. It's just a little bit, you know, why I bought the car to try. I'm just a little bit disappointed with it, you know. I mean, they were fun, you know, but what they are is, if I'm being honest, I don't actually like it, and I wouldn't buy another one. I mean, I've put my foot down, and it takes the car so long to change gear. It just sits down there thinking, oh, what do I need to do? buy stationary. No, I know I need to change gear. But you know, this engine is very, very economical, and it's a bulletproof engine as well. Like I said, it's done over 192,550 miles. Here we go. This is going around the corner. So as you see me demonstrate there, I went around the corner and the car wants to keep going straight on. You know, even though the steering is very planted, the suspension on this is extremely hard. So when you go over a bump, you just feel it banging up and down, and it makes the ride not very enjoyable. And you would expect that from a sports car or like a super saloon, but this is none of them things. This is for people who want to have a bit of bling on a budget, and I think Chrysler have got this car very wrong, you know, and I understand why they call these the poor man's Bentley. They've done a range of engine in these as well, but the ones you really want, if you wanted to buy a Chrysler, but I don't see why you wouldn't because he's American at the time, is that they had the 5.7 litre Hemi V8 and the 6.1 Hemi litre V8, which is the one that everyone wants. But when you start putting a big engine like that into a car like this, it's just a recipe for disaster, because this isn't a very good car anyway. And when you start shoving like a Saturn V rocket under its hood, you know, it's just going to be more harder to drive. And this is a challenge on its own. You see, I've been behind the wheel now for about 5-10 minutes, and I'm already starting to have to move around and get, you know, because I'm getting uncomfortable. I'm trying to find a position that's right for me, but I just keep going back to the poor attention to detail, just like the cheapness that everything feels, you know. But then it does have some good things. It's got cruise control and all that, which you would expect to have. A good navigation system, which is let down by the awful sound system, you know. And it does, don't get me wrong, it looks quite blingy from the front, but it is notoriously wide and long as well. So yeah, I leave this car feeling rather disappointed, and on that note I will say goodbye, and seriously consider thinking about buying one of these, because I'll go for a Bentley. So to sum up then, should you buy a Chrysler 300C? Well, it is a great looking car for not a lot of money, but there is one very good reason why you shouldn't buy this, is because the parts are so hard to get for it, and it's American. But if you work a little bit harder and save up a little bit more, you can go and buy a Bentley. So if you have enjoyed this video, do make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the button just below, and make sure you stay tuned for more Cormac on Cars videos coming soon.